Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Waiting Room, the show that challenges you to thrive, not just survive in every area of your life. This is your host, Ruem, and in this podcast, I'll be talking about the lessons we learn from waiting in every season of life, because it's all about waiting well. In this episode, I'll be talking about why saving money is important. Heard me say I'll be talking about the importance of saving money, you probably had one of two reactions. A, you let out a sigh or groan, or B, you got excited. So money can be a source of comfort for many people, but it is also a source of discomfort for others. So this is the 5th episode in the Money Talk series I've been doing. So if you missed the first 4 on being good with money, or what your financial personality is, or budgeting 101, or lifestyle creep, you can pause right here and go back and listen to those to catch up. Today, I'll be talking about why saving money is important and how to go about doing that. So understanding your why and setting specific attainable goals will help you gear your mind towards putting money aside over a period of time, preferably over a long period of time or the rest of your life, or whatever it is that you are saving up for. So it does take consistency, it takes discipline, and it takes sacrifice in order to save money successfully, but it is completely achievable and the results are so rewarding. So it's completely worth it. And they say no risk, no reward. So sometimes you have to take that risk, be uncomfortable, stretch yourself beyond what you're used to in order to reap those benefits. Right? So first, why is saving important? Putting money aside over a long period of time can give you financial freedom. You don't have to rely on anybody else, whether it's a financial institution or a person, to provide you the funds you need whenever you need them. You can be self-sufficient. Number 2, saving provides financial security to a certain extent. Okay, so of course, the economy might crash, or there might be a year-long pandemic. So there are some things that are out of our control. But for the most part, if you have been putting money aside, you sort of have that buffer in case of emergencies. Third reason why saving money is important. Saving means you can take calculated risks. If you are into investing, I understand some people are into investing, some are not, some have strong opinions for and against it. But if you are into investing and things like that, you have the freedom to do that if you have money aside for essential stuff. So they recommend not to invest any money that you cannot afford to lose. So if you need to pay bills, if you need to get out of debt, if you need to pay off your house or pay, important things off, do that first before you can, start taking quote unquote calculated risks. Another reason saving is important. Saving prepares you for future purchases. Okay, so kind of giving you that financial freedom I mentioned earlier, but you can set specific goals, attainable goals, whether it's down payment for a house, whether it is a vacation or a car, college education, or the list is endless. You don't have to scramble when it's time to buy a new house or when it's time to buy a new car or things like that. You can be prepared and you can give yourself enough time, whether it's weeks or months or even years, depending on what the goal is. Of course, if it's something like a house, you might need more time. College education for your children, of course, you might need more time to save up. But if you chip away at it little by little, you will be able to save up that money if you're disciplined. Another reason why saving money is important is that it reduces stress. Financial stress is a big deal. It is an underlying problem in a lot of marriages and a lot of people's lives. Just other physical issues can manifest because of financial stress. So debt is stressful. Owing somebody else money is stressful. Unexpected expenses, if you hadn't prepared for them, if let's say the transmission goes out, or you have to buy a new washer and dryer all of a sudden, or just something occurs. If you had not prepared for it, that can be stressful, especially if you cannot afford those items at that time. And that's where you have to rely on a bank or somebody else to lend you the money, and then now you owe them and you have to pay them back with interest, and it just keeps building. Saving is important. Or figure out what your goals are and then create a plan, whether it's $5 a week, $20 a week, or $100 each paycheck, or $200 a month. However you want to do it, set a goal, write it down. When you write down your goals, you're more likely to follow that plan and achieve them. So write them down, and then if you fail or if you miss a day or two, that's okay. Just pick up where you left off and keep going. And another tip would be to automate your savings. Immediately when the direct deposit hits, you can have it automated to where a specific amount will go into one account and then another amount will go into another account. So it doesn't go into your main account, your main checking account, and where you don't see it. So that helps as well. Out of sight, out of mind. Or open a separate bank account that's not connected to your checking account and have the money sent there. And so there's so many tools and resources out there. If you really want to learn, or if you're really interested in growing your savings, you can find help pretty much anywhere online, or you can go to your bank, or talk to somebody. There are a lot of tools you can use, and in the description I have some links of some resources you can also read about saving money, so feel free to click on those and see what's there. All right, so how do you save money? So if you've decided, okay, I want to save money, there are different ways. It doesn't have to be just from your paycheck, but it could be your spending and different things. So first thing you want to do is pay off debt. It's kind of hard to save for something if you already owe somebody else money. So get that out of the way, knock down debt, do heavy payments, get them sorted out as soon as possible. Cut down your grocery budget. Take a good look at your spending. How much are you spending on food, your groceries? Do you eat out a lot? Are you buying groceries and eating out? Could you cut one or the other out? Either you eat out and you don't buy groceries, or you don't eat out and you buy groceries and eat at home. Okay, so a lot of times people are spending double on groceries because of the eating out. So cut that down, and even you can lower your grocery bill. Use coupons, shop the generic name. You don't have to shop the brand name. Things like that can help you cut down your grocery bill. Another way to save money is to cancel automatic subscriptions and memberships. Most of the subscriptions out there are unnecessary. They're more luxuries instead of necessities. They're wants and not needs. You can live without a lot of them. Just keep the trial version. If you want to keep that service at all, or some of them you don't even need. So just take a look at where your money's going and decide, do I need this? Do I not need this? And cutting down, lowering your plan or whatever you need to do, so that way you are saving money will help you. Number 4 tip to save money is to spend the extra or unexpected income wisely. So sometimes we get money given to us, or we come across a little extra cash. That doesn't mean we have to blow it all. That's a perfect opportunity to put some aside, because you're not losing anything. It's not coming out of your paycheck. It's not coming out of your specific wallet. So you can just put it aside and save it for a rainy day. You can lower your phone bill from $150 a month to $20, $30 a month. There's so many phone services out there. Prepaid, you don't have to have a contract. That'll help you with a lower phone bill. Number 6 tip to save money is cut down on some of the unnecessary spending, like coffee trips. I know people and their coffee, that's like the holy grail. I'm not saying cut out coffee, but you don't have to buy it from Starbucks every morning. You can buy a coffee pot and make your own coffee at home. Set the timer so that by the time you wake up, it's ready and you just pour in your cup and go. Okay, make time in the morning to get that done if it's important to you. So if you're spending $5 every workday on coffee, that's 5 times 5, $25 a week. That's about $100 a month. That's about $1,200 a year that you're spending on coffee. Okay, so think of what you can do with $1,200, whether it's put it in savings or that could go towards something more significant for the house or for the car or whatever. Okay, refinancing your home also helps with saving money as well. If you're in a place where you are able to do that, you can do so. And then sell things you don't need. There are a lot of apps out there. You can sell your gently used products. People buy them, clothes or appliances, just different things like that. So you can sell it or you have a yard sale so you can make some profit. So those are just a few ways to save money. I'm sure you can think of many others, or you can do a Google search and find many other ways to save money. But I think the most important thing is just making up your mind that you're going to do it. Set a goal, write it down, and then start. Okay, break it down into what it's going to look like per week or per month or per year, and then work at it. 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time. Yeah, when it comes to saving, this is a work in progress for me. I am not where I want to be, but I am better than where I was a year or two ago. So I guess that's what counts, right? We're, comparing to ourselves. Yeah, I would like to have a bigger savings account, but I am working towards that, and definitely, have goals in mind that I would like to achieve. And I personally find it easier when I have a specific account that's named that goal, and I'll put money in that account and I won't touch it until the time comes to use that money. And then of course, if it's like a long-term savings or if it's like an emergency fund, you don't want to touch it at all unless absolutely necessary. But I have had to learn to be disciplined. It's not easy when it comes to, just making sure you're not overspending and you're living within your means. Sometimes I'm able to save more than other times, but I always try to make it a point to put something aside from each paycheck so that I just maintain that discipline of saving money. And one scripture that kind of keeps me grounded when it comes to saving, I came across this a few years ago, is in Proverbs. Good old wise Solomon. He says, "The wise have wealth and luxury, but fools spend whatever they get." Okay, so I don't want to be a fool. I don't want to be somebody who's just careless with their money or extravagant or frivolous or whatever. I want to be wise. I want to make sure I'm a good steward and taking care of what's been given to me and putting money aside so that when things come up, I'm able to be a blessing or to give or to help or to, afford what I need to afford, so I'm not relying on other people. So I have been recommending the book Get Good with Money by Tiffany Aliche. The link is in the description, so you can go to that link and purchase a book. There's so many other good books on finances. Dave Ramsey has some, and so many other authors. But if you are interested in this topic, I definitely encourage you to start educating yourself, start learning, find tips and create a plan where you can save money. Like I said, there are some links in the description you can follow to get more information. All right, and that is it for today's episode, folks. Thank you for joining me here in the waiting room. Tune back in for my next episode. In the meantime, I need your help getting this podcast out to as many listeners as possible. Please share this podcast with a friend or anyone who you think would like to listen. If anybody needs help with their finances or help with saving and things like that. So I would love to hear your feedback as well regarding this topic. If you have any experiences or if you would like to share your stories, you can email me at thewaitingroom@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Instagram, The Waiting Room, or you can leave me a comment on my website. All the links are in the description. Until then, take care.